Are you paying too much in taxes? Elevated Tax and Accounting is a firm that specializes in tax planning and strategy to minimize your tax bill. Elevated Tax consult with you on tax strategy throughout the year, so no more waiting until the end of the year and hoping for the best. As a business owner, you know your sole focus should be spent working on your business, not in it. Outsourcing gives you the time to concentrate on the core reasons you started your company, to create and innovate a top-tier product and generate profits. Elevated Tax and Accounting, elevating you and your business with a modern professional touch.
Driving along on the highway and you've been hit by a semi-truck. Now what do? You call your Montana attorneys, Ryan and Miller. We have the expertise to help guide you along in these specific types of accidents. So these are the 3 steps that you need to follow. Number 1, make sure that the police are called and that there is a report of the accident. Second, make sure that you're getting the medical attention that you need and following up with your doctor. Third, do not talk to an insurance company until you've talked to an attorney. They are not going to help you protect your rights, and you want to make sure that you know all that you're entitled to. Contact an attorney today by clicking the link below.
All right, the end of spring game is the end of spring, and it's always a pivot point for your calendar year. The work that we put in on the field here this spring is behind us now, and I think where we're at as a team should become much clearer. And on that note, where we're at as individuals as well. I think anytime we came out in scrimmage today included, generally speaking, there was enough back and forth that you feel good about both sides. Being in the fight and going after it. I know, like today, several guys that will play for us did not participate, and that's all part of spring too. Guys on the mend and getting to the point where we need them to become the beginning of June when summer workouts start. So I think all in all feel good about our progress this spring, and at the same time I think we understand we got a younger team and an experienced team by and large that we got a bunch of work left to accomplish in the summer, and then look forward to the end of July as we reconvene for fall camp.
3 interceptions. How confident are you in the secondary going into the summer?
Well, thinking about some of those interceptions, I know one's a tip ball up in the air. One's ball thrown right to one of the guys. I think our secondary's coming along. I guess just trying to unpack those a little bit. Obviously as the head coach, you're seeing both sides of it. You're seeing the ball thrown to a defender. You don't like the fact that we have interceptions, turnovers, period, and at the same time we got guys on the other side that can make plays. So we're coming along. I think that young group of corners has made some really significant strides through the course of spring, and they're obviously going to be called on big time come the fall.
Anything you saw out of Colson today? Because obviously Julius and Adam have what he did back there.
Yeah, I think just you start with Colson and Jared going out there as the 2 running backs, and I think it was apparent. I think offensively the ability to run the football was there, and we only had one on each side, so I know that got some things tempered maybe on the play calling side. But I think Colson has continued to, when given opportunities, he's continued to shine, and I think this spring was a really good opportunity for Jared at the same time to continue to find his footing to make his mark. I know with Adam and Julius, we have 2 really proven guys, but to have Colson and Jared, in that mix is pretty comforting.
Seeing the 2 coordinators in action today, what do you think of just their kind of game plan and play calling, things like that?
Well, I don't know how much game planning goes on for this. I know you've seen each other from a 5-week perspective, and I know some of the things offensively that maybe worked early on that fooled the defense aren't fooling them anymore. So that's a good sign on defense that they're continuing to just build upon what they've done each time. And I know on either side, when you don't have the quarterbacks live, there's a whole element of offense and defense that we didn't see out here today. And so I think for spring game confines, I guess with what you're dealing with, I thought they both managed it well. And moreover, just I think how they've taken on these first for several months, I've been pleased with that.
And with it not being televised, did you feel any more freedom, or I guess how does that compare to previous years?
Well, we just came out and did what we did, and any one of our early opponents could have had anybody in the stands too. So I don't know. I think it's an opportunity to, again, build upon two new play callers that. In an offense and defense that is, probably shifting gears a little bit as far as, who we are and what we need to do. So, I think that allowed for this opportunity to be, to cap off spring and be as complete an evaluation as possible, as opposed to just having an absolutely vanilla situation out here today.
How much of that is important, just sort of getting a chance to switch gears or sort of cater to personnel and get 15 practices in doing this?
No, it's really important. Spring ball to me is still such a critical phase to the year, and taking advantage of every single opportunity is really important. And I think running I've been part of a spring game 2-team structure for most of my career, and I've always felt like, and in part being a quarterback guy most of my time, that this is the one time where we do have time on the clock, the down and distance, the cause and effect. Now, we didn't have special teams, but the ball was obviously moving if we didn't convert. And I think that it puts those guys, those quarterbacks, in positions that we don't create on a daily basis otherwise. So, and I'm a real believer in spring ball. I'm a real believer in a spring game as long as we can pull it off. We were probably about as thin as we could be at a few positions to do that, but I'm glad we were able to get it in, and it appears the way we walked away pretty healthy today.
Paul Brott with the legacy number 41, you guys gave him that on Thursday. I guess just that decision, him continuing that legacy.
Yeah, each and every year, you hope you have multiple candidates, which we did. This isn't a big senior group, but he isn't the only Montana native. At the same time, you hope it's clear who it should be, and it isn't always clear. I will say that, but Paul, I do think it embodies what you're looking for. A guy that first and foremost loves being here, loves representing Montana State, loves representing Billings. And in his case, loves representing a family legacy now. Him being the third in line to play here, and then beyond that, a guy that starts, maybe down here as a guy that's got a long ways to go, and he keeps finding his way, and not only becomes a really good player, and I hope he can become more than a really good player in his last year, but is a guy from a leadership perspective that gets it. If you'd have told me Paul Brott would have been a potential captain and that type of guy when he was a true freshman, I would have probably said, we'll see. But he's absolutely become it, and that's guys before him laying down a legacy as far as how things are supposed to go, and Paul being a guy that really I think craved this opportunity. So I think that's the neat part. It's not something that guys take for granted. It's something they all, I think, really aspire to, and we'll continue to put the patch on those other seniors as well, because there's all a story they have that they've grown and they've finished out their career here as native Montanans that we want to highlight.
Speaking of the defensive line, that continued to show why they're the strong point and coming into this year. Just what you see from them.
Yeah, and that's without Paul and Alec Eckert, our two interior starters. So that's encouraging. It's the spot that returns the most playing time, the most depth, and that should shine on a day like this, whether it's run game oriented or pass game oriented. And I do think beyond the guys that have played in starting roles, I think that second wave and even that the new starter opposite Kenny is and Hunter Parsons is starting to come together, and you can see continued improvements from Zach Cruz and emergence of a young guy like Seth Brock. Interior wise, Talon Marsh I think has had a really good spring to take another step forward. We need Zach Black in his fifth year to continue to improve upon where he's been, and I know that's not even the whole group there, so that's a good thing. When we can start on defense with an experienced, talented, strong D-line, we can go someplace.
What do you think of the way you guys ran the ball, especially Colson Coon?
No, I thought he did a good job, and he was the only guy on that side, whichever side he was on, and so just being able to spell him wasn't something that we could do, and for him to just keep answering the bell. So chances are we probably could have run the ball more. You eliminate the quarterback aspect that really limits to some degree what we could do. So, Colson's continued to thrive when he's been given opportunities. He's just a guy that's going to find a way for the ball to go forward. He's going to find a way to make guys miss, and his productivity continues to impress.
Anything you can say about Ontario being dismissed?
No comment. Obviously with the statement removed from the team for violation from team rules is where we'll leave that.
Will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana.
QBIs, Coach Green, shout out Coach Green. He tells us every day we have a meeting, watch shoulders. The QB's going to tell you where the ball's going. So every time I seen the quarterback's shoulders go high, I just knew that it was the ball was coming, so it was time to break and go get it.
Speaking of Coach Green, what's he been like so far this spring?
Coach Green has been probably one of the biggest additions in my life since he's been here. Coach Green's a great guy. He's smart, knows what he's talking about, knows everything about football. He's a football junkie, and Coach Green has helped us out a lot in this in the spring ball.
Talking to him last week, he seems so incredibly detail-oriented. What's it like learning from a guy like that? Can it be overwhelming when he is giving you guys so much to sort of chew on?
For a newcomer, I'd say it might be overwhelming, but for people who have been playing football and DBs, he's just teaching us the basic fundamentals and the basic rules of football. So it's not really overwhelming. It's just he's relaying the fundamentals, like mostly the fundamentals of football.
You guys have such a young group, but he talks about how he wants you guys to be competitive every single day.
Yes, sir.
He wants to leave this with like 4 or 5 starters, not just 2. So
Yes,
how much has that driven you guys forward as a group?
That pushes us every day. It pushes us a whole lot harder when you know it's only going to be a 4 or 5 man rotation. It's going to be about 6 of us. So everybody's just coming out here. They're not worried about that. We're just worried about working, trying to make each other better, and make sure our offense doesn't catch the ball on it. Simeon Woodard left me with being very patient. If you knew Simeon Woodard from last year, he was a very patient and savvy DB. I just watched his game, and John Johnson was another dude who I watched in New Mexico now, but John was a more break on the ball, PBU, play the ball type dude. Those guys really left us with a lot of information.
What's the hunger like for that group with so many new positions?
It's on. Like every day was a competition for us. Like from day one to today, it was a competition for us. And even in the fall camp, it's going to be a real rough competition. But we just know at the end of the day, we're just trying to get better, man. We're not trying to really compete against each other and bash each other, but we just want to get better as football players.
The first pick you had, take me through just kind of what you're seeing. I mean, the ball's pops up right.
It was really a gift, man. The first pick was really a gift, but broke on the ball, hit him right off his chest, caught it. I really wanted to run around him, but I had to jump over him, and I ran out of bounds. So, yeah, that's how that went. I remember that Coach Udy, he's at Boise State now, but Coach Udy told me just run down there and be ready for the U-turn. I ran down there, I made my U-turn perfectly, and Max Murphy just hit the ball out, and it was just right there in front of me, so I just fell on the ball, and I lost my mind after that. It was my first big play, so yeah, I lost my mind.
Do you guys have a competition, or I guess who's the fastest?
Jace McMillan. Jace McMillan. Ran number, I think, 3rd place in state last year in the 200. Yeah, Jace McMillan, most definitely.
I mean, what's that like? I mean, so many fast guys in that room. What's that competition like?
I mean, it's just Texas, man. We got one dude from Cali, but I mean, that Texas ball is different. Everybody ran track in Texas. Jace was more of a 10-5, 10-4 guy. Corey Boyd was a 10-4, 10-5 guy. I'm a 10-6, 10-7 guy. Steph Johnson, 10-8, 10-9. Takari Carr, 11-1, 10-9. We all fast in there. So we just trying to work. That's all we're trying to do.
Big Sky Breakdown, proudly presented by the Bobcat Collective at Montana State. The Bobcat Collective is the NIL collective that serves Montana State University student athletes. The collective has partnered with Montana State to connect fans, alumni, businesses, and local nonprofits with Montana State student athletes. Opportunities through the collective allow student athletes to earn compensation while serving the greater Montana State University community. Sign up now for memberships and enjoy automatic entry into raffles for free tickets while supporting the bright minds at Montana State. They have multiple different membership tiers, and you can also be a one-time supporter, and you can also business partner or corporate supporter. Visit bobcatcollective.com for more. Collective, and the Bobcat Collective has a cool event coming up in July. This is a meet and greet that Mike's actually been a part of for a little while. So what happens here in July is there's a whole congregation of Bobcat current players that'll go. Mike will be there. Maybe some other former Bobcats will be there too. And you get a chance to meet and greet with all the players. And then you also get a chance to have a Q&A with Mikey. And it's a barbecue, and it's a whole gathering of Bobcat people. This is happening on July 16th in Billings. So I know you've been a part of this for a little while, Mike. So tell people a little bit about this event.
Yes, it's a really cool event. First off, the setting, River Ridge Landscapes, Steve Landbauer does a really good job. He's got an incredible property out on the Yellowstone River. Absolutely stunning. Weather's been really cooperative last couple of years, but we get the chance to it's exactly what you said. It's a meet and greet, and it provides some really good food, and it's just a chance to get 20 to 25 of these close to Yellowstone County as we can get it, kind of Billings area Bobcat players, and then they'll throw in some additional as well from other areas and some out of state, which is really fun. But the goal is just really to get the community and these people that are coming supporting Bobcat football to just get an inside look of what it looks like to be a Bobcat football player. And so some of the Q&A, I just think the average person has no idea. They may go to games on Saturdays, but they've got no idea what it looks like the other, whatever, call it, 8 months of the year. They have no idea what a fall camp looks like with 25 practices and, maybe the workload for a student athlete. It's a really cool event to connect these players who are human beings navigating a lot in their life and trying to figure out, now you got this NIL world and so it really bridges the gap between these supporters and fans to these players who they're navigating a lot right now with trying to get a degree and get to class and perform on Saturdays and just balancing everything that comes with being a student athlete. So making that connection, seeing that these kids are, these are humans that are, you take the helmet off and they've got, things they're working with too, but it just is a really neat event, just kind of seeing eye to eye with both fans and players alike and getting people to experience that firsthand. It's really, really cool.
Wednesday, July 16th, it's at the River Ridge Landscape Company there in Laurel. You can find more information about this at a variety of different places, including bobcatcollective.com/Billings Barbecue. There's a whole list of players that are going to be there. They have that on the website. Headliners include Taco Daller, Paul Brott, Adam Jones, Julius Davis, and then a whole bunch, as Mikey mentioned, guys from that area, guys from Red Lodge, guys from Eastern Montana in general. So check this out if you can. It's going to be a fun event. And if the schedule is conducive, I'm going to make it over to the Magic City as well, because this sounds like a fun deal, certainly. But we appreciate our friends at the Bobcat Collective for their continued support of us here at Skyline Sports.
What's your overall evaluation of the offense and the way you guys moved the ball today?
Yeah, I feel like I was pretty happy with everything. I really like the new offense. I like Sturbeck. First half going with Sturbeck calling plays and going with Mix calling plays in the second half was a little change, but it was fun having two different perspectives. And I do think we moved the ball. We made some great catches at wide receiver today. Colson Coon and Jared White. I mean, we had two backs, and it was hard for them to, carry all that load, but they did, and they did a great job doing it. So, yeah.
Quarterback center exchange is such a huge storyline just because of the veteran centers you guys lost. That seemed to be pretty seamless today, though.
Yeah, we've worked on it a lot during spring, and especially in the winter, doing a lot of snapping after workouts, before practices. So we've dialed in on that and made that a pretty top priority for us.
You guys look like you've worked a lot on
Yes. Yeah, I would say Sturbeck has a big emphasis on trying to get the ball out, different areas, different angles, because in the pockets, nothing's going to be easy, nothing's going to be just perfect. So we got to learn how to go around defenders and all that. So it's definitely been an emphasis. Yeah, I mean, his offense is great. It's a little bit more passing. It's something we're not used to at Montana State, but I think it's been great. And his coaching, I really like how he coaches. he's very honest with you. He kind of tells you straight up. I really like that, and he's pretty level-headed. He doesn't really get too hot, too cold, so it's really nice to have that in a coach.
Yeah, you've been around guys like Tommy and Sean. I guess what they can do now.
Yeah, I would say for Tommy, especially just like the preparation aspect of everything, like he is to a T. You know, he's perfect on getting ready for practice, getting ready for games, watching film, knowing what the defense is doing, and learning from watching him the last couple of years has really helped me with that. And just Sean, just how he just goes out there and ball. You know, he always tells me that, hey, just go ball. Like, you're good. Go be confident. And I definitely think he's helped me with my confidence. And having him on the sideline is great because me and him were really good buddies when he played for us. So having him as a coach now is great. Yeah.
Are you wishing you could show off your legs a little bit?
Yeah, I know. I hate not being live, but I was live last weekend, so I think I showed him enough with my legs last weekend. But yeah, I do love being live. I love running the ball, and but it's good for me to learn how to stay in the pocket, and make some balls, because that's what I've been working on this spring is to just stay in the pocket, make some balls, learn how to throw better, and all that.
When you guys move the pocket and you do some of the quick game stuff, how much do you think that sort of emphasizes what your strengths, your skill set?
Yeah, I think I like getting the ball out quick, and I would say, yeah, getting the ball out quick to one of our playmakers like Taco Dallo, Jacob Trimble, and even our tight ends, like they can take a 6-yard route and take it to the house. You know, they can take it to the end zone. So it's been a pretty big emphasis with us and getting the ball out quick. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
It seems like Trimble has a chance to really make some strides and be a playmaker for you guys this year.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, Jacob Trimble has had a great spring. He just keeps on growing, keeps on elevating his game. I'm definitely excited to see how he is this next season. He's definitely going to be one of our top guys, I would say.
How about Dane Steele? He made some plays today,
yeah,
too.
Dane Steele, that too. Yeah, he's a younger guy. He's just getting his own way, and he's quick, he's fast, he has really good hands. So I'm excited to see him this next year and moving forward with that too.
What kind of weapon can Jabez be, especially kind of stretching the field there?
Yeah, I think when we seen it, one of the last touchdowns with him, just with a jet sweep, he just has really good speed, and he's really good in the open field. He's good at making people miss, and we could definitely use him this next season, especially with some jet sweeps and getting him in open space.
How would you kind of describe how the quarterback competition went this spring and how it's going to look in the fall with Justin in the fold?
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a competition, and it's a great addition to have him. Just more knowledge in the quarterback room, and he's one of the older guys, and having him playing different areas and playing against bigger schools is going to help us, especially for week 1 against Oregon. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a competition. You got to go compete against at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
Given the fact you guys were a little short-handed at running back, you probably knew you were going to get a bunch of touches. So how are you feeling coming into this, and what gave you the ability to have such a big day?
We just knew we were going to have to tough it out and kind of just put our head down and get to work. We trusted our coaches were going to keep us healthy, and they said just not to overdo it. So, nothing too much. Got beat up quite a bit, but that's all right. I think Coach Firm set us up pretty well to be able to handle today too as well. So.
What did he do to help you handle today?
Even just throughout spring, we had a lot of injuries. So, just every practice was a lot of conditioning technically. So today, honestly, was kind of a lighter day. It felt easier for us because practice, we're always running around and stuff. And Firm's always making us finish in practice, make sure we're getting that extra cardio. So.
Anything else?
Talked about Firm, being a quarterback, I guess, kind of how that.
It's really nice because he can be able to tell us like what kind of defense, show us how to read defenses and where linebackers are going to flow and stuff like that, and kind of where to just kind of hit it in the hole on the line. We can know where the defense is going to be just from his perspective is really interesting.
You got to play behind both offensive lines since you switched teams. So what'd you think of just the way they operated on both?
I think both sides played really well. I think both of them were phenomenal. I think all the linemen did their jobs to the best of their ability, and I think they played fantastic. So on both sides, so they did really good.
You showed a lot of spurts last year, and I think he picked up as the year went on. But
never really got in a full game last year like you did today, even though it's a scrimmage type of thing.
It felt good. Getting more dinged up than usual, but it feels good to be back out there and running every play. That feels really awesome.
Does it help your confidence?
Yeah, I would say that too. I think just being able to get in the flow of the game and being able to see things as the game progresses, it's much more helpful. It makes the game a lot easier than just kind of bouncing in and out. So.
What's Coach Sherbeck's offense kind of been like? How would you kind of describe how you felt about it so far?
It's a little bit of the same of what we're doing with some new passing stuff. I like what he's doing. I think he's getting the offense situated right, and he's getting people open in space. And the line's doing a really good job. I like what he's doing with the run scheme and with the passing scheme.
What do you think of the opportunity that you have personally coming into this year?
I think just with injuries, I got to take advantage of every rep. I think the whole running back room, like we got a room of dogs, so it's a lot of competition everywhere, and everybody's going to be working hard and battling with each other for that 1 and 2 spot. So.
Along on the highway and you've been hit by a semi-truck. Now what do? You call your Montana attorneys, Ryan and Miller. We have the expertise to help guide you along in these specific types of accidents. So these are the 3 steps that you need to follow. Number 1, make sure that the police are called and that there is a report of the accident. Second, make sure that you're getting the medical attention that you need and following up with your doctor. Third, do not talk to an insurance company until you've talked to an attorney. They are not going to help you protect your rights, and you want to make sure that you know all that you're entitled to. Contact an attorney today by clicking the link below.
Cash One Pawn has the most extensive inventory of any pawn shop in western Montana. Whether you're in the market for firearms, power tools, bows, video game consoles, or sunglasses, Cash One Pawn is the best deals around. And now Cash One Pawn gives you the ability to shop online from anywhere. Make CashOnePawn.com part of your shopping habits. Also make sure to download the Cash One Pawn app. Cash One Pawn, Missoula's premier pawn shop, located on Roller Coaster Road on the way to the Y.
I was just very excited. I was thinking about all the people that have worn it before me. I was just glad I get to be mentioned in that group of people. So, pumped up.
Yeah, I mean, to keep it in the D-line group, you had it last year. What is his kind of relationship with you?
It's a big honor. I've looked up to Brody for a while. He's a very hard worker, and no matter what, he gives his best look. So, yeah, I was just excited. Yeah.
Tony Nolan as Billings natives to wear the jersey, just representing Billings. What does that mean?
It's big time. I'm glad there's 2 Billings people on there now. And Nolan's also a great guy that I looked up to, so it's sweet.
What has Bath been like as D-line coach this spring so far?
Oh, he's awesome. He's done a very good job. He's putting in great stunts for us, and it's very, very good.
Just following your brother's footsteps, how special has it been to kind of continue their legacy here?
Yeah, so that started out as me being a young kid trying to be selfish and wipe their legacies away. There's an article of me saying that. But now it's just a bigger honor. I'm glad I get to be a part of it and all they've done for this program, and I get to add to it.
I think Daniel Hardy mentioned how far you've come from your freshman year. How would you describe just the steps you've made, the leaps you've made since your freshman year?
It's been a lot of hard work, and I've had a lot of great people along for the ride. I mean, I've put on about 85 pounds since I've been here, a lot of lifting, a lot of eating, and school, of course. So, yeah, it's been awesome. Oh, that scholarship is going to help out a lot. I know my mom's very happy because they don't have to pay for anything anymore. I can just pay through with the collective and that nice check now.
You talked to Chase Benson at all? He was another interior lineman wearing 41. I guess how inspired are you by him?
Chase congratulated me. He sent me a little text and Instagram, but he's kind of the pinnacle of what we want to be here. He played with great technique, and he's very physical. So, yeah.
What do you think of what you saw today, especially on the defensive line?
I thought it's good. We have a lot of young guys stepping up, like Talon Marsh, Hunter Charbonneau, and then, of course, our DNs are always really good. So I thought we played great, and then the running backs are great as well, Jared and Colson.
Without you and Alec playing today, that's valuable reps, it seems like, for those guys that are going to be crucial behind you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's great for them to get that experience and go through the spring, and they have to learn the tricks that we did along the way. So. We good?
Yeah.